This week's episode is brought to you by NYXI and their Hyperion Pro Joy-Cons for Nintendo Switch. The Hyperion Pro is the best Joy-Con replacement we've tested to date. They look fantastic, they feel better than stock Joy-Cons, and the Hall effect sticks ensure longevity of them will outlast Nintendo's offering, as well as other third-party brands that still suffer with the dreaded drift issues. The super comfortable and ergonomic grip allow for easy long-time gaming. The programmable RGB lights mean you can customize the controller to your particular taste, and the gamer's reflex macro buttons are available to give you an edge. Plus, the GameCube-inspired purple option and the green Legend of Zelda-inspired variant really make the controller stand out. All this, and using promo code PvP, you can get 10% off. Head over to NYXIGame.com or use the link in the description. Hello, welcome to Podcast vs. Player, episode 297. I'm one of your hosts, Callan, as always. I'm joined by a man who said James Corden's so fat that after sex, instead of a cigarette, he smokes a ham.
That is fantastic.
Danny Bloody Dan.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Dan. How are you?
And why are we children's TV presenters now?
I don't know. It seems like our niche now. Yeah, it's like I can't think of any kids programs that was on like Play Days. Was that a thing?
Play day, yes. Play days, play school, play something.
But you know what I mean, though, with the bus. Not the not the magic school bus. But
no, it was wasn't it puppets or something?
Yeah, well, real people and puppets and stuff as well. And you had that dancing girl that was in the park.
Sure.
Well, it was a puppet, but like she used to dance.
Oh, okay.
But I was thinking that mixed with like The Godfather or something.
What a weird thing to link together, but okay.
I think it could work. I don't think there's been anything like it.
No, probably for good reason, though, I fear.
Thank you for coming to me on the day of
my dance recital.
I was going to go Tuesday. Anyway, how are you?
I'm good. I finally got a couple of days off from work, Callum, which I intend to use to full effect tomorrow.
Ooh.
So I'm open to suggestions as to how I can utilise this. You're wrong, because I'm going to play Gamers and Wank.
Gamers and Wank?
For 2 days straight.
Wow, that's a long game.
I know. It's that's definitely the longest part, yeah. I intend to watch Always Agatha, or whatever it's called.
Agatha All Along.
That's the one. I am probably watching that, maybe Joker 2. What was I going to start or finish or something? There's something else that I was like, I need to get around to that. There's a bunch of games, Callum, that I need to power through.
Agatha's more important though, because that's finished now.
That's very true. And I did say that I was waiting. Penguin, that was the other thing. I want to try and get through that as well.
Still on.
It's either way, though. I'm not going to be able to get through Agatha and Penguin.
No.
But there's a bunch of games that I want to kind of pick back up on, so I'm intending to use those 2 days productively, and then I've got a weekend to also do nothing. So,
well done. That sounds very interesting and fun, and all of the things I won't be doing. So,
well, unlucky. That's all I can say.
It could be worse. Good news, though, Dan. Kinda. Ish. For some people, maybe. Steam game recording is now live for all PC and Steam Deck users. So, follow me on a little trail, Dan. Many years ago, we used to use a thing called Bandicam.
Oh, wow.
Remember Bandicam? If you go back and watch
Every YouTuber remembers Bandicam.
Our very first YouTube video, which was Planet Side 2, I think it was.
Side 2, I think, yeah.
And you got www.bandicam.com.
Yep, because we were using a free version because we didn't know what the hell we were doing. And Callum, I hate to break it to you, we still don't. No,
it's just that things have gotten a lot smarter and they do things for us now. So.
And more expensive.
And very much more expensive. But you know what's really weird as well? The watermarks these days are very not annoying because they're there for a reason. But if we'd have had the software available at the time, when we used the free version of Bandicam, we literally could have just cropped it a little bit because it was just at the top.
Yep.
But
So you just lose a little bit off the top of the UI.
yeah, exactly.
And you wouldn't know, yeah.
Yeah, but because we were using like
Or you just put up like
Windows Movie
here's
Maker,
all the channel details or whatever. You
yeah,
put that up instead.
Just have that on there. Yeah, same as we do with like we do now with like the Cal and Dan cam. That covers just the icon for the recording that's in the corner.
Or the FPS counter that every now and then just shows up and we can't get rid of. Yeah.
But because we were using Microsoft like video editor, whatever it's called, Movie Maker,
which doesn't even exist anmore.
No, Movie Maker's dead now. I think it's Clipchamp or something like that.
Oh, right.
Which I would assume is better, but it's not the point. It's not pre-installed. Anyway, obviously now we use a mixture. We've got El capture cards. We've got GeForce, which works tremendously well. The limitations for that, Dan, is it's only available for NVIDIA cards.
Yes.
So if you haven't got an NVIDIA card, you shit out of luck. There is an AMD version, but it never seems to work when I try to use it on the other PC. So bin that off out the fucking window. But Valve has announced that Steam Game Recording is now released for all PC and Steam Deck users. The new built-in system for game recording offers a variety of tools for users, allowing them to capture highlights of their gameplay, record lengthy play sessions, and share them online through the Steam overlay. Now, there's a little thing in it that I'm really interested in more than anything else, is much like NVIDIA Shadow Play, you can do like quick replay functions. So if something happens in a game, it's recorded the last like X amount of minutes in the background for you, so you've already got it.
You can preset it, but like if you're playing Call of Duty or whatever, and it'll put like a highlight reel of all your kills and deaths. Battlefield, it did the same thing on Battlefield as well. And
that's all really cool. But what I'm interested in, you can drop markers as reference points during the video.
Providing you've got a Stream Deck.
I assume it'll be a button on the keyboard.
I guess if you can hotkey, it's just that if you're in the middle of playing a controller, that means you've got to put your controller down to hotkey it to then.
I mean, it doesn't specifically say what it is, but it's provided tools for developers to create timeline-enhanced games that can proactively notify Steam when relevant events happen. These events are represented along the timeline with details specified by developers. Cool. I thought that was quite a funky little thing. I haven't looked at it, but Valve said that the Steam game recording has been designed to use minimal computer resource as it uses your NVIDIA or AMD graphics card to help with recording workload, which is the main problem with stuff like Fraps and Bandicam and stuff. They're like really resource heavy, and that's the main
especially if you're doing something like if you're using a fairly resource heavy game or playing and then you're using something like Discord to talk to the people that you're playing with. Like Discord is a drain in itself, which it's got no real right to be. But you add like something like Fraps or OBS on top of that as well. It all adds up, and if you haven't got a shit hot computer, you're going to feel real bad when you're clunky. When you're recording stuff.
So it's with a lot of things like more so OBS, where OBS is a really good. I mean, we're using OBS right now to record the video for this, but even when you have set it up properly, there's still sometimes there's fuck ups. I remember a long time ago we tried to record Red Dead 2 and OBS just was not having it at all. It would either be really garbage quality, it was lagging, it would just go black, it would just freeze, everything would happen, and like no matter what settings was used, it still did it. And to this day I've never used OBS to record a game ever.
No. So we use it for podcasts for obviously, again, very low resource. It's purely just Discord that we're using, so you don't need a huge amount behind that. But yeah, when we're doing gameplay, you use NVIDIA's inbuilt GeForce to record the video. We use OBS to separate out and record all the audio tracks, and then we use Audacity, which is free, for the audio because it's good quality. So there's no point in trying to get too many things on the go at the same time, but annoyingly not one of them can do all of the jobs really well. I
mean, on paper OBS should do everything
theoretically, but as you just pointed out, it does not do that.
But also the quality, there's a difference with stuff working well, and because I can't remember what the other program we used to use, a different program, and the benefit of that over Bandicam was it could do you could capture up to 4K. And I can't remember for the life of me what it was. But the quality between that and GeForce is it's night and day. Like GeForce is such good quality, really low resource, and it's just free as long as you've got the card. There's no reason not to use it. And for the most part, I mean, there's nothing wrong with free stuff. I mean, the only difference being I use Adobe Audition instead of Audacity, but that's only because my audio interface, it never picks it up properly. Otherwise, I just use Audacity because I've got it's already there. But yeah, I'm quite interested. I'm going to have a look at this. I probably won't use it because of GeForce.
Well, I think we do need to, simply for editing purposes, 2 for size, just to compare the size, because obviously GeForce, if you're doing a sort of 50 minute video, you're looking at 20-30 gig depending on what you're playing.
Yeah.
And whilst that obviously is a thankful problem that's now been fixed, uploading that between us is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like it would take all night. It would sometimes take all day and all night if we'd done something for like an hour. So we had to limit our own gameplays to avoid me uploading all my video content to the cloud, because it was taking literally all night. It would take 8 to 10 hours to upload it, which
sometimes it would fail.
And sometimes it would just fail. So now that it only takes about 20 minutes to upload a full video, I don't really care anymore. But there's a lot of people still stuck in that unfortunate position.
Yeah.
So if the Steam version, if it compresses well as maintaining that kind of quality, then maybe that would be a preferable version. Obviously, a lot of the things we're playing at the moment do seem to be, not that we're doing it intentionally, but they seem to be Game Pass heavy. It's just, it's free, we can both access it, and the multiplayer, for the most part, works pretty well on all of them.
Yeah.
But if we were to do a Steam game together, Callum, what would that be?
Probably, off the top of my head, Police Simulator.
Interesting. Then that'll do. So we can use that as a test and say specifically, right, this has been recorded using blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And you can have a look at it from an editing point of view, and then we can have a look at it from a YouTube uploading point of view, and just see if there's actually any difference whatsoever.
We'll give it a go. We shall try it out. More video game news, Dan. Nintendo have confirmed that the whenever it's announced Switch 2 will play Switch 1 games.
Well, that's a handy little bonus.
It is. It's very good.
Considering those are the only Nintendo games I've ever purchased, Callum, because fuck giving those guys money.
I mean,
make an original game and I'll buy it.
I mean, they've made a few.
Callum, every game that I own are all series that have been around for 30 years.
But that's true.
Every one of them.
That's true of like all systems.
Bad bollocks.
Yeah, of course it is.
Either way, the fact that I could get a Switch 2 and all of I don't have to update the library or whatever. Perfect. Love that. I was actually going to talk to you about something Nintendo related anyway, because when I went on there yesterday, there's a few updates. There's a couple of new games that have been added to the Nintendo Online. So there's a couple of new mature games. So Turok 2, Seeds of Evil has been added on there. And there was something else as well. There's a guy with a little sunglasses on, and I can't remember what it's called, but I remember seeing
sunglasses.
It's a little. It's sort of like a. It looks very much like an old school. This is for grown-ups, like N64 cartridge game.
Is it Comic Zone? 'Cause that's a great game.
No, that was also for the.
That was Mega Drive, yeah.
And it's also
Genesis.
Yes. No, it's like Soulless or something like that. It's absolutely not called that, but I can't remember. But I did try Turok 2 because I remember I had Turok 2 on Game Boy. I didn't have it on a console or anything. I had it on the Game Boy. Yes, which was the side scroller. And having get the N64 one now, it is unplayable because the Switch controls have still not been amended to like with any emulator where you just program in your controls. All they have to do is just say, right, forward is up on the left stick, down is that, left is that. Just program it out like a normal person, and it would be amazing. What a great addition!
But
they don't do that, which meant that it took me. This isn't joking. It took me 15 minutes to figure out how to get up like a ramp. Couldn't figure out how to get through to the next part, and I thought, if an enemy comes at me, I'm fucked. I can't control it. You're basically doing like 3 different actions at the same time. And I'm sure this is just to encourage people to go and just buy the Nintendo accessory controller, rather than you can just remap it. We've got your classic controls, we've got your N64 new controller controls, and then we've got the, for any reasonable person who's playing a game these days, controls. And it is just, I can't play it, Callum. I genuinely can't, and it's absolutely frustrating because I'd have to adapt to the controls, and that's not how you want to try and enjoy something, because it's so counterintuitive for how games work now. But they did have something. So you might have seen the Nintendo alarm. That's
Alarmo or whatever it's called.
Alarmo, I think so. Yeah. But then they also announced Nintendo Music
on Spotify and iTunes.
It's not on Spotify, no.
Oh, it was. That's what I saw in the advert for it.
Well, because that's what I was doing, because it said scan a QR code. It's not. It's a separate thing.
It's its own
app. So I just thought, as far as I could tell, and I really hope, Callum, that I'm wrong on this, but I tried it yesterday. I scanned the QR code in for the exact same reason. I've got a bunch of different games. There's an artist on Spotify called Game and Sound or Game and Watch, something like that, and they do great covers of really classic game. Like they do Kirby and they do DuckTales, Castlevania, and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, oh wow, it'd be great to have some original. Like I've got like the Minecraft soundtrack and a few other bits and pieces. I've got the Ori soundtrack. I thought it'd be great to have some of the Nintendo ones, some of the classics, all built into it. And as soon as I scanned it, it was like, yeah, it looks like Spotify, but it's its own thing.
I think that's what's threw me. I'm just looking at it now, and
is it on Spotify?
No, it's just its own app.
Okay, good. So I was right to be enraged then. Yeah. Callum, tell me, again, in this day and age, why would you not just go, let's make it available for Spotify users? You're already paying for it as part of your Nintendo Online thing, but we'll partner with Spotify and you can access it through Spotify, but only the people who've got Nintendo Online can find it on the Spotify library. You can't just search for it and get it.
If anything, this is just pushing more people towards YouTube Music, where this music is already available.
Yeah, because people upload like all soundtracks like that as soon as the game's available.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is they say, oh, you may want to listen to Nintendo music, classic Nintendo music. You'd have to go into a separate app where you can only listen to that, rather it just being potentially just mingled into a
make your own playlist.
Yeah, so it's all on its own separate thing, which just baffles me.
There's not. I haven't got a problem with the app itself.
No, it's free. It's all the music that's on there. I've got no issue with that. I just don't understand why this is the way round you do it. That you'd have a separate. So if you want to listen to a bit of Mario before you go back and listen to your, thumping trance or whatever, you've got to go into a different app and then a different app to listen to that. It just seems a bit backwards.
But I'd be more inclined to do it if this was Minecraft music. Like, I think the Minecraft soundtrack is amazing. I fucking love it.
It's beautiful, yeah.
I can't think of any Nintendo games where I'm like, I really wish I had an app that I could jump into and just listen to this music.
And that's all that's on there.
Yeah, that's what it does. There's nothing stopping me downloading it, but there's also nothing making me download it.
The fact that it's a separate thing, because I got quite excited for it yesterday, because again, my main playlist on Spotify is about 4,000 songs.
Yeah.
Because I don't like, people curate and they do all this stuff where they, this one's for working out, this one's for work, and this is work 2 and work 3 and work 4, depending on what mood I'm in. I'm just like, no, fuck that. Just put it in one big pot. One. Just one big pot that's called main playlist. And I have no idea what's going to come up when it shuffles. And that's what I love about it. Well, I agree. And just being able to throw all of that in the mix as well. Not even all of it, but just a lot of the ones that I'm just sort of like, oh, I'm nostalgic for that. That would be great. I'd love to listen to that. That's a banging tune. Throw all of that in there. But no, I'd have to leave Spotify, go into that, and then play the music through that. And then when I get bored of that, I'd have to leave that at that. Which again, first world problems, I know. But it just, why would you do it that way?
It's not
Nintendo just saying, it's the Apple model of just, we'll give you all the music, but you've got to listen to it on our app. So we can track what you're listening to and what people are finding popular or whatever.
But it's basically the same as the
we'll give you your
Alarmo,
old school games, but you've got to go and buy our controller.
I'm still dead against the Nintendo Online system. Like, it's great because it's cheap. It's like 20 quid for the year, which is
it's a bit more than that,
all.
but yes.
I've got like I think I've still got 2 years left, like free. That I got with like the Switch OLED model.
Nice.
But it's like you can play the retro games, but if you want to play these N64 ones, you need to buy the separate bundle. Why? I can play them on my phone for free. It's not a special thing, and you haven't done any. The Switch itself is running an emulator.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's no.
They haven't custom made it.
No, it's just it's the same as the. Because the inside of the Switch is the same as the NVIDIA Shield and the NVIDIA, the ones that made the inside of it. So there's no reason you can't get RetroArch on there. So in that,
well, that's still third-party tech though.
No, but that's what I mean. It's a sense of going back to the controller thing. There's nothing that was not whatever emulator it's running will have a mapping functionality.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just baffling that's not in there. But just the fact that I've got to pay extra to play games that are older than my son.
Yeah.
And in some cases, I have in the loft, not my son, the games. But and I guess all that. And then when I saw this Alarmo the other week, I'm like, oh, that's cute. But then I watched the video for it. Doesn't do nothing. Just wakes you up.
But it plays like Nintendo sounds, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I could set alarms on my phone and do the same.
I get that this is Nintendo doing what Nintendo does best, which is make ridiculous gimmicky peripherals.
Yeah.
But that one at least it is what it says on the tin. It's an alarm clock, and if you're gonna get an alarm clock, but you're a big Nintendo fan,
how much is it?
Why not get? I'm gonna guess, Callum, using my incredible psychic Nintendo feature prediction powers, too much. I reckon it's gonna be about 40 quid.
I think it's going to be more than that.
No, I don't think you could get away with it.
You reckon?
Unless you can play fucking Nintendo games on it, that would be outrageous.
You're getting 40 quid then?
Yeah, probably.
$89.99.
Shut the fuck up.
$89.99.
Oh, this is why, Callum, I hate them. This is why I hate them. Because they do this sort of stuff. Here's the alarm clock. It just plays some pre-recorded MP3s. Just like your phone would have done 40 years ago. 89 quid. It looks cool. I love the look of it.
I love
looks great, like an old
aesthetics
cartoon
and stuff. Yeah.
And
it's got like a nice OLED screen and everything. But
tell me, give me a rundown then. I'm assuming you found like a store page or something like that. What does it do? Give me that.
I've just closed it. Let me reopen it. Alarmo.
Oh, be careful. You're going into it twice now. That means it's going to be pushed at you as an advert for the next 2 years.
Product overview. Oh, it's video. So how does it work? Select a title, pick a scene, set a time, and let Alarmo do the rest. Well, it sounds like I've already done everything.
That doesn't make any sense so far. What do you mean pick a scene?
I'm assuming the scene would be... Oh, yeah, because it's like you can choose Mario or Zelda or...
That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
How many pre-recorded sounds are we looking at here?
We'll have to get to that because that's not on this bit.
Right.
In the morning, the alarm will start playing at the time you set, using the music and sound effects from the scene you've chosen.
Okay.
Alarmo has a sense...
that's like a normal alarm clock at this point.
Up to now, nothing different. Alarmo has a sensor that reacts to your movements and will play sounds if you stretch your arms or roll over. Your alarm will go quiet.
Oh, great. So it'll wake you up in the middle of the night?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm assuming this is when your alarm's going off. So it's sensing that you're doing something.
So it turns off when you get up?
I'm assuming it'll just keep going until you get up, yeah.
Okay. Well, again, that's fine. That's also the function of another alarm clock, sure.
But
the only difference being is that you just stop that one rather than this one doing it for you.
Motion sensing features only function when Alarmo is not in button mode.
Whatever that means. Also, does that mean that if my cat jumps on the bed, it's going to turn the alarm off?
Maybe. It might think you.
But then I'll oversleep.
Once you're up and out of bed, Alarmo will stop without you even needing to touch it.
Okay, so currently, Callum, this is a alarm clock that you don't have to touch to turn off unless you put it into the mode where you have to turn it off to turn it off.
I'm guessing. Choose from a total of 35 different alarms across 5 Nintendo games.
Callum, that is not enough to justify 90 quid.
Wow.
35.
Does this make up the nearly £100 price? You can check records to see the information such as time you spent in bed, how much you've been moving around in your sleep, and how long it's taken you to get up.
Callum, there are free apps that do that for your phone. If you've got some kind of wristwatch thing, it does the same thing. It tracks sleep and movement and that kind of stuff during the night.
Every morning, my watch informs me how bad my sleep was.
You slept terribly last night, and you're like, I fucking know, mate.
Honestly,
come on.
like it's at a point where in the morning, like I barely fucking read it these days. But I think the best ones I've had, it was literally something like, your sleep was okay. And then it'll tell like how many times I was restless and everything else. But it's never like, oh, you had a great sleep. It's always like, it's poor. For your age, this is fucking shit. You need more sleep.
What you need is something shouting Mario catchphrases at you at 2 a.m. because you rolled over wrong.
It doesn't seem like it's I think even £40. Please note, an AC adapter does not come with Alarmo and need to be purchased separately.
So you can buy a product that's 90 quid that doesn't come with the power supply to power it.
I could buy an iPhone for 1,800 quid and that doesn't come with a plug.
What? When did we go backwards? Remember when you'd buy your phone or whatever and it would come with like a phone and the charger, the headphones, a like disc with software on it so you could download it and like it came with all these like extra goodies like to justify the £400 for this brand new phone that it was. Now it's just like you're lucky you get a receipt with it. Frankly, they might as well just give it to you in a plastic bag.
But that's what I don't get.
Kick you out the shop.
When I got the S22 Ultra and the Fold 4. Fold 4 came with a plug, but the 22 Ultra didn't. And I can't remember the last iPhone that came. Because it was Apple that did it first. They got rid of the plug. And I mean, we've had this conversation before, but the phone manufacturers' argument is always, well, Apple's is like, we're saving the environment. You've already got a plug.
It's expensive or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, your phones are built in sweatshops, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah. But you can't go, you've already got a plug. I do, but the new phone does 65 watt charging, and this plug only does 35 watt. So one of the reasons I'm buying this phone is because I could charge it to 100% in 30 minutes. I can't though, because I haven't got the fucking plug. And I remember the looking at the wireless base for the S22 Ultra, and I was like, I'll get the plug, and the plug was like fucking 90 quid. I was like, 90 quid for a fucking plug? It's outrageous. I look at the wireless thing, and that was like 200 quid. I was like, it's slow charging. It's mind-boggling, but
because
people
they
will
know
buy it.
that you have to buy it, you can't not buy it.
I use my laptop plug. It charges in like 4
Alarmo
seconds.
thing though. The fact that it's an AC thing rather than like a USB, like a micro USB or a USB-C, it is a bit old school as well. So it needs to be connected to a plug rather than just like plugged into your.
It might have USB.
Maybe. I'd assume that it's probably. I'd hope that it's got fucking battery, so you can put batteries in it, so it's not tied to wherever a plug socket is.
I don't know. An OLED screen. Do you reckon just double A's will do that?
Yeah, you need a couple of D's maybe.
Need a couple of double D's.
Yeah, and then it's going to die in the middle of the night anyway because it's using so much fucking power.
And then it doesn't wake you up.
Also, if it's got an OLED screen, what's the point of an OLED screen when you're asleep when you're looking at it?
Because when you're awake and you're looking at it, it looks amazing.
And when you're awake when you're getting at it, Callum, you're waking up to get out of bed and leave the room.
And because
you're not taking it to work with you.
Yeah, because it's got batteries. You go, look, guys, look what I put to work.
And they go, what do you mean? It's turned off.
Oh, no, not again. Why does this always happen?
Like, if they'd have just said that this is like some sort of enhancement to the Switch, so it was games console and an alarm that's got kooky sounds or whatever, but you can pull from any of the games that you've bought. So it's all Animal Crossing sound effects or whatever, and whatever your Switch is, unless it's in turned off mode, you could set your alarm and you can just put it to standby, so your power will last all night long. Or you can put it in the dock and it'll do it for the dock. Yeah. And it'll play your noises or whatever. You've got to get up and turn it off from your Switch. Instead, it's a completely separate device that's got a screen that's pointless because most people are going to be using their phones for alarms or clocks anyway, or a watch, or a Fitbit.
Or a wife.
A girl, or a cat.
My alarm's awful.
Yeah. Or you buy this for 90 quid. It's got 35. Wahoo! There's one. And that's going to wake me up in the morning, sure.
I mean, it might wake you up. It definitely wouldn't wake. I'd never, ever.
No, I'm too heavy of a sleeper. As soon as, like, I'm the worst person at getting up in the morning. As soon as I have the opportunity, because my brain doesn't work properly in the morning, and if it has the opportunity to snooze my phone, it will do it, and I won't get the chance to be awake enough to go, oh, I should probably wake up.
Yeah.
I will just immediately go back to sleep. And I'm not joking. I've literally got up, out of bed, turned the alarm off, got back into bed, fallen asleep. That's what happens. It's autopilot. The second that thing would go off, and I would go, fucking hell, and then it would start to turn off again, I'd be asleep immediately.
I wouldn't be able to risk it. Like, if it wasn't for Zoe, I'd be asleep now. But
I'd never be able to sleep because of how terrified I'd be of being in financial ruin because of spending 90 quid on a stupid alarm clock.
Maybe that's the target market, though.
What, people buy it who can't afford to.
Yeah, so people want it,
buy it,
but they
so they're in constant cold sweats about the debt they're in.
Yeah, ideas.
Oh, but at least Luigi's screaming at me at 6 o'clock in the morning to get
Let's
me
go
up.
Get some ghosts together because I ain't got a job no more. So.
Yeah.
But speaking of Nintendo, though, have you seen the latest Nintendo addition to the mobile app store?
I have not. No.
I don't know if you remember, Dan, but many moons ago, I did like a mock-up. This was fucking years and years ago. I did a mock-up of how Pokemon the trading card game would work on Android and iOS. And I sent a thing to Nintendo, and they went, "Nah, we don't take unsolicited suggestions. Thanks anyway. Whatever." Anyway, fast forward to now. Pokemon trading card game on iTunes, on Apple and Play Store.
I mean, it came out on Game Boy about 20 years ago, but that's...
No, but this was like using... So you can buy... So again, I'm not saying I was the only person that had this idea. I'm just saying I did have this idea.
Because I was about to correct you, but sure.
But a lot of the stuff that I had, with the exception of... do you remember... what was it called? Google Games. It was kind of like Xbox Live, but on Android. So you had like your own login and stuff, and you could like add friends and this, that, and the other.
I don't know because I refuse to play games on the phone.
So,
Apart from Callum, Don't Starve Pocket Edition, which is actually great.
It's pretty good because it's basically the same as the normal.
It is,
version.
except there's no online, which is a bit poop.
But it's the first game. It's not together.
Exactly. But it's still great though.
Yeah, it's quite good. And there's quite a lot of good mobile games that are available. Most of them are like... The ones I really like are like Genshin Impact, but they're also available on PC and PlayStation and Xbox. You're like, well, I'd rather just play it on one of them, if I'm honest. But yeah, there's a fair few decent ones. Like Simpsons Taps Out, is that still a thing?
No.
Fallout Shelter.
Yeah,
that should be on Switch.
It's on PC.
Yeah, but it's not on Switch. That's not what I said.
Well, it's also owned by Microsoft, so why would they?
Because it's on everything else. Not Shelter. I meant Fallout.
Oh, right.
Shelter's on PlayStation.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no way. Maybe it's just like, look, you can't deal with a game that's 200 hours long of content and expansions and building and.
I don't know. You've seen the amount of RPGs that's on Switch.
I know, yeah, but they don't look that good. I mean, you want to look at something as a perfect example, The Witcher.
Zelda.
Do you want to play The Witcher in the worst possible way you could imagine?
No, but Fallout Shelter's not going to have the same issues.
No, Shelter. I'm not saying Shelter. You said Fallout.
No, I said Switch.
Put Fallout 4.
No, I said Switch would be good on... Shelter would be good on the Switch. That's what I said.
Yeah. I just don't know if it's just sort of like, well, we don't really have a relationship with Nintendo, so... Why would we? Don't know. No, I mean, maybe. Then again, Fallout 3 and stuff barely work on PC, so I can't see it working on Switch. Fallout 4 came out, it didn't work, so we can't put on inferior hardware.
That's what I'm saying.
Expect it to struggle through.
It doesn't work on stuff that it's meant to work on. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't think we should be chasing that dream just yet. But speaking of RPGs that are out, Dan, Dragon Age.
Veilguard.
It's getting some excellent reviews.
Veilguard, Vanguard?
Vanguard, I believe. We both might be wrong, though.
think it's Veilguard.
Veilguard.
Looks great.
Mm.
And do you know what also came out this very day, Callum? Year of our Lord 2024. Planet Coaster 2.
Ooh.
That came out today. And I'm quite annoyed because Frontier, you budger wankers, they made Planet Coaster, which is almost arguably one of the best like theme park building sim things that's ever been made. They also made Planet Zoo, which I've got. I bought Planet Zoo, and that's amazing. And then they made Jurassic World and Jurassic World 2, and they're both poo. Comparatively,
I don't like the
they are
Jurassic ones.
nowhere near as detailed as the ones that are like Planet Coaster. And, presumably, Planet Coaster 2 is just another level above that.
Yeah.
And I was really hoping to kind of get Planet Coaster because I really like Planet Zoo, and but then it's one of those things though. As soon as you get it, you go, oh, I've seen these things on YouTube where people make these these absolutely sprawly, these incredible theme parks with they design all the rides and they're all themed and they've got JPEGs and GIFs running inside the ride to make it and it looks incredible. And then you go, oh god, I can't even get the tracks to go the right way, so it pulls it up and then brings it back down again. I'm not cut out for that kind of game. You need to commit a lot of time to that game, and you know how varied I like my games to be. But the second one, again, that's one where I'm just sort of like, oh, maybe I should get that.
But that's like City Skylines, though. Like, when you watch videos, you go, oh, this looks so fucking good. But when it comes to actually making your own city, it's just as long as cars go in and out and people can get to build it, that's all I'm fucking bothered about. Because it's too complicated. And it's probably not. We're just stupid. But
well, speak for yourself. I'm thinking of people's bus routes. I'm like, okay, well, I've got to get them all from this residential district here to this industrial district here. How many bus stops can I put in that will hit all of the residents and give them opportunities to get to and from work and cut down on the amount of stops to get to work, so it speeds up their time to get to work, but also including some additional stops for tourism and stuff like that. Those are all the things that are going through my head. I'm just trying to make it look pretty.
We should do a live stream to the council of City Skylines.
I'm sure that's how they plan things out these days anyway. Architects
can't be any worse.
Sims, and city planners, they use City Skylines.
I think that's what they were using for the election last night. They were just live streaming some of it.
Oh yeah, probably just worthwhile touching on some worldwide news, Callum. Donald Trump is president once again.
Somehow. Also, one of the, and again, we won't go into the political nature of it. It's nothing to do with us, and we're the last people to give opinions on it. However, one of the things I remember hearing a lot of was Donald Trump reminding people that Biden's fucking old. Like, this is an old guy. This guy's really old. One of the first headlines I saw today was Donald Trump made president. He's now the oldest president ever.
Yeah. He's also had 2 assassination attempts as well.
And many crimes.
Yes, also many crimes. All I can think of is that maybe this time, just maybe,
they'll get him.
One of them will be a decent shot. With the amount of Americans that go into the military and that all demand that they own firearms that are military grade, at least someone can have a proper crack at him.
Did you see?
That's a joke, by the way. I do not condone presidential assassination.
No, obviously
but
not.
I also wouldn't lose any sleep over it.
It's going to happen, unfortunately. Not just because it's Donald Trump, just because people are stupid. And people...
Well, as soon as they see that... Okay, well, it's the same as the school shooting things, though, isn't it? It's just, people see how much news and effort... how many of those fucking happen? They need to sort their mental health out.
Yeah. And get rid of guns.
Well, that's easier said than done. You're going to be treating a lot more people for mental health conditions.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Before you could get everyone to surrender all of their weapons.
They'll never surrender the weapons. Never.
Well, and that's the thing. You try and take it off it, and then that justifies the reason that they had them in the first place.
Just stop selling ammo and...
I think Chris Rock's got the right idea. Just charge $5,000 a bullet.
Yeah.
And then the only people that get shot are the ones that are meant to get shot. They're supposed to be shot, should I say.
That's actually a surprisingly good idea. It's similar
it was part of a comedy routine, and it's a great joke.
No, but it's true though.
Logically, it also kind of makes some sense. It's like you won't have to spend so much money on like medical costs and stuff, because if someone gets shot with a bullet, that they're going to get it pulled back out again. Yeah. So I'm keeping that.
They'll shoot it. It'll be like attached to a piece like a fishing wire, so they can pull it back out.
That's really interesting you say that. We went to Blackpool last Saturday. Went to see a musical called Heathers, the musical. Great little musical, honestly. Great cast, amazing performances, really good set work. It's surprising how long it's been since I've seen a show at the theatre, but you kind of...
Went last year.
I appreciate just like the level of effort and detail that went into it. It's really good stuff.
Did you sit there and think, that could have been me?
No, because I never really liked the live theatre stuff, like treading the boards. I know that a lot of actors do it as part of the grind, but I just don't have the memory for it. Like, to try and remember. I mean, as soon as you rehearse something for 6 months and then you're performing it 3 times a day or whatever, sure, it is drilled into you. But yeah, I just never liked the possibility that I just fluff it. At least with a camera, you can just go back and just do it again.
They're sometimes the best bits, though.
Yeah, but we went to see there's a circus that's actually in Blackpool Tower. It's been there for like 100 and God knows how many years.
Yeah.
Basically, since the tower's been there, I think the circus has been playing in there, and it's like not an animal circus, to be clear as well, because we wouldn't have gone to that. But it's like a comedy show with some people that come in and sort of do some dances, and then it's a bit of trapeze work and that kind of stuff. It's not a huge space, so you can't exactly do anything crazy. There were a few times where I did shit myself though, because I thought, oh my god, he's going to die. Like, it's this guy, and so it's this spinning wheel of, like, it's the circle of death or the wheel of death or something like that. It's called. It's like 2 wheels, like hamster wheels, like connected on a big metal thing. So as soon as you put weight onto one, the other one goes round.
Got it, yeah.
And then you've got 2 people in each side. One is a counterbalance, and they just go round and round.
Yeah.
And then it's all it's all very impressive, and you're just like, oh, they're sort of like on the inside, and they do like a jump, and then they land, because it's obviously sort of like almost like a weightlessness kind of thing.
Yeah.
With the rotation of it. And then one of them gets on the outside, and then he's just sort of like walking along the wheel.
Jesus.
And then you just sort of like, all right, mate, because this isn't just like floor level. This is like 20 feet in the air, and then he's on top of that running around. So it's just like, bloody hell, you come off that, and you've got a fair old way to fall. And then he blindfolded himself, and then did it and tripped, and everyone was like, ugh! And then he did it skipping. So like
still blindfolded.
No, he didn't do it blindfolded. I don't think he's that stupid. But it's skip, but not like skipping as just walking. He was basically just sort of like, as it was going around and coming up to the peak, he would then skip as it was going on, like so as he was in the air, and then he'd skip. And he was doing that, and he did it twice, whatever, and everyone was like, oh god, bloody hell, be careful, please. And then he caught it on his bloody foot, and it got like trapped on him. And then he just sort of stumbled and grabbed the thing, and everyone was like, oh my god. Like, he's literally about to fall off and die, this fucking moron. But there's a clown and I like the fact they haven't got like 50 clowns all throwing pies or whatever. There's like one clown, and he just does like crowd work, he does like improv work, and they got your
Dame.
Almost, yeah, exactly that. They've got some funny skits that they do with the ringmaster. One of which is where they do like a cowboy duel. So they both got like their chaps on, and they've got they doing their silly American accents or whatever, and they're telling funny jokes. Only 3 homophobic jokes in this, so that was really well done, guys. Well done.
Blackpool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've seen Blackpool lately, Callum, but I'm surprised there wasn't more.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
There was a couple of jokes that actually made me laugh. Like, I was just sort of like, that's okay, I'll give you that. That was really good. I mean, it's mainly sort of like kiddie humour and silly innuendo puns or whatever. And there was one where he came out on a horse that was a 2-person horse. So he came out, and it was like clearly just sort of like with the flap that goes over the second person walking behind him. And then he gets off, and he gets out a car beeper, and he clicks it, and the horse's eyes go like blip blip. I was like, funny. That's really funny. I like that. That's a good joke. And there was another part when the ringmaster was sort of like doing some piano, like he's playing like Celine Dion or something like that, and the clown came over and he says, "Oh, can you play me? So can you play a jazz chord?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And then like plays like the thing for the jazz chord. I don't know what it is, what you'd call it, like the sort of like the sequence of notes that would form up a chord or whatever.
Let's give it a bad
No, like on the just like
yeah.
It's like no, a jazz chord. And he's like, yeah, it's this. And then he goes to like the circus band. He's like, oh, can you do a jazz chord? And they did basically the same thing. And he's like, no, moved him out of the way. And he sat down on the piano and goes, "I just called to say," and everyone's like, "Oh, that's really funny." That's really funny.
That's quite good.
That's a really good pun. I love that. But yeah, that was kind of great. But one of the things that they did do is this like duel, and they decided to do it in like super slow mo, and like they're sort of like, ooh, and then like he pulled his gun, and as he shot the gun, it was almost like a slight hand trick. It was very well done, but he like pulled this wire out and like put it onto his back, and like a bullet, just like a slow motion bullet, just sort of goes up the wire and like just hits him, and I was like, oh, that's great. And then he bends over and a big cloud comes out his arse, goes, which again was really funny as well.
Well, that's a clever use of like, how do you make a duel exciting in basically like a theatre show, and clever use of tricks, like you say, like hand of eye kind of things. That's a really smart and relatively easy thing to do, and I like that kind of thing. Like we go to see a panto every year. Yeah. One of the years we went to see Dick Turpin, and it was quite a funny one. And it's normally it's this guy he's on from X Factor or
this is someone who's on a soap opera 30 years ago. That's now Buttons, a character that we've made up for no reason.
And like most of the time they're quite and they're reasonably entertaining. But the Dick Turpin one, I forgot who was in it, but there's a bit where he's got this big box thing on wheels. He put it in and he'll put a pie there, and then a rat comes out, which is obviously a puppet, and he'll come out and he's like, no, eats the pie and goes back in. He's like, well, just put a pie, so he puts another pie. Then he catches it, and then it's that for like 5 or 10 minutes of this fucking all the kids going, hey, the rat's come back, and he turns around and the rats are there, and then he just turns around and he goes, there's somebody in here, and just spins it around, and you just got the guy sat in the box. Which I thought was dead fucking funny. I was like,
that's really funny.
I don't even care about the rest of the thing. But Zoe's sister went to see it the day after us, and then we were talking to them, and they're like, yeah, no, this thing where like they spun it around and showed us. I was like, I thought it was just on the night kind of thing. It was still funny, but it made it less special. But I don't mind going to like, I can't remember the last time I went to a proper. Because what kind of thing is Heathers, was it?
So I didn't realise it. I don't know if it's based on a book, but it's based on a film. I think it's like Winona Ryder and Christian Slater. Oh. So it's like a film.
Were they there?
Yeah. He was the dame. She was Buttons. No, it's like a musical that's based on in Big Mouth where they have musical that's based on Disclosure, the musical that's based on the Michael Douglas film. It's like that. It's just, I'm assuming, I've never seen the film. I've never heard about anything. Like my mates who I went with didn't tell me anything about it because they just wanted me to just see it as I saw it.
Yeah.
Some great little songs in it. Amazing performances. And in this tiny little theatre, there's only about probably 300 people. Not even like, It felt like it was like an old people's home. Like they just put the seats out. Also, if you're listening, people who run the Blackpool Circus, sort your seats out around the balconies because they've been there for about 100 years, and there's these
still
really
gum underneath,
rickety stairs that you come down, and then as you're walking across, like to go and sit down, the benches they fold down, but they've got these huge like metal claw feet, and from the edge of the foot to like the edge of the stair before the next lot of seats below it. You've got literally about that much room, so you're sort of like squiffing around to try and not trip over this, which I tripped over 2 of them, by the way. And about, we were there pretty much as they were opening up, and about 10 minutes after we got there, they turned all the lights off. So you can't see shit, and there's no like emergency light, there's no like strips of, like, whoever's in charge of health and safety there, they're more concerned about the performers than the audience. Let's just say that. I was not happy about that, because if I'd have gone over, I would have gone over about 3 things and then fallen into the ring.
See, the thing is, though, it's not expensive. Like, just buy a fucking 50-meter strip or something.
Just that. What if there's a fire drill? Exactly. Everyone would die. Everyone would die.
Go use your phone. It's fine.
Yeah, and then they have this big thing about... I tell you what else did actually make me laugh. They've got like these sort of screens around the ring. Again, these are all sort of like they're on really shit projectors.
Yeah.
And they're not quite framed properly, so they're just all slightly off screen. And they're using like graphics and stuff like that from the 90s. Like, clearly they haven't updated this sort of like joke intro video. And they were just like, so please make sure, under no circumstances, no cameras, no photography, no video recording, no flashes, things like that. Just make sure you're, looking after yourself. Please bear in mind as well that some elements of the show will be in 3D, so please make sure you remove the 3D glasses from under your chair. And I'm not joking, about 3/4 of the audience just went like that, and then they just went, "Got you." It's like, of course what element? It's all in 3D. What do you think it was going to be in 2D? You fucking idiots.
That's pretty good.
Honestly, almost everybody did it. And I'm sure that the only reason I didn't do it myself is because I wasn't really paying attention when they said it. I just saw everyone underneath us all just start digging around under their chairs and then burst out laughing. And I was like, what happened? And my mate told me what they just said. And his missus did it as well.
God,
I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, come on.
It's not a musical, Dan, but I won't talk too much about it because I don't think you've watched it. But I watched Beetlejuice 2. Beetlejuice.
Yes,
it's good.
Worth it. Yeah,
it's fine. I love Beetlejuice, and
Beetlejuice is great.
I don't think it warranted a sequel. And after seeing the sequel, I can take it or leave it. It's not bad by any means. It's not. Yeah. It's not bad. It didn't further on the world of Beetlejuice. It didn't. I mean, I watched Beetlejuice from about 2 months ago, just to get into like the spirit of it. Still fucking excellent. I could still watch it any day of the week, any time. I love that fucking film. Whereas this one, I probably won't watch again for a long time. So,
do you think it's kind of riding on the Keaton, O'Hare, Ryder, Ortega, which like they're all kind of big at the moment?
Everyone's great. There's not a bum person in it. It's just. For the whole thing, it looks great. The effects are really good. Acting's really good. Even the story itself is good. But through the whole thing, all I could think of was, why? And it just seemed... I don't know. I'm not as angry as I would have been if they went, here's a sequel to The Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, it's not that level of unnecessary. But...
the reviews haven't been great for it, I don't think.
I haven't looked at any review, but I can now because I've seen it. But
yeah, I mean, not rave and not absolute poo, but just sort of middling for probably for about the same kind of reasons. Like, we can't knock it. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. We just don't know why we needed it.
No, it was, and I said for a long time, and I said on one of the older podcasts, I don't see why, because it doesn't end like the end of Beetlejuice. You don't go, fuck, I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah. Where's this story going to go?
I mean, originally, did you ever see the original idea for a sequel?
No.
It was Beetlejuice in Hawaii. That was the original.
Let me guess, they worked elements of that into the Beetlejuice cartoon that they made for kids?
Probably, which again, I love that cartoon.
Yeah.
Varying degrees of quality, but it was the same kind of feel as like did you ever watch The Mask? Cartoon, not the movie.
Yeah.
I'd put it up there. Not great, not bad. Kind of scratched that little bit of an itch you had as a kid for the property that it was, because there was loads of fucking random shit cartoons like that. But this, like I say, it's not bad, but it's not good. It's just like middling is the best way of describing it. It's just all right. I think you'll like it when you watch it. Unless you don't like the original Beetlejuice, then you won't.
No, I really do like the original Beetlejuice. I just think it's proper. This is when Tim Burton still had his groove, basically, and before he just went, shall I just do the same thing forever?
Which they've done a good job of keeping the.
I think isn't Beetlejuice the last thing that he did that was an actual like an original idea? Is everything else after that? I think it's all remakes and stuff. Is that right? Is it Beetlejuice? There's one of them that was like the cut-off, and then everything after that is just
sure
beating the same drum, basically.
I saw a video the other day on everyone's favourite TikTok that is like, Jack Skellington is in all of Tim Burton's movies. And I know he isn't. And then it will show you, here's a skeleton.
Sweeney Todd.
There was one in Sweeney Todd. They used what did they use? I think it's like the Pumpkin King. But it's not. It's just a scarecrow with a pumpkin head.
Yeah, that's synonymous with, that's like everything with a pumpkin-headed scarecrow. That's all Jack Skellington.
There's one that was there's literally one. I can't remember what the film. I think it's Coraline, and it is basically Jack's head, but it's like a Jolly Roger type skull. But it is basically Jack's head. But that's probably the only one that I would give him. But everything else is like, that's a white circle with, it's got that's Jack. And it's not, and it's all these people, and it's one of those annoying videos where you must have seen them, and it'll go, I was watching this film when I noticed, and it's someone sat there going, as it's playing, it's like, you haven't just found that out. And then, because I was really angry about that, I wasn't going to comment on it, but I wanted to look at the comments, and someone basically said the same thing, and was just like, you're fucking reaching for all this. And, and the guy who made the video had replied, and he said, no, Tim Burton confirmed all these. Well, you haven't found them then, have you? You haven't sat there and gone, I found this. If Tim Burton confirmed them, which, by the way, he didn't, somebody replied and gone,
show me.
Yeah, where's the proof? And he's just like, Google it. I can't find it. So where did you find it?
Yeah.
But you can't go, I found all this, and then go, no, you didn't. Yeah, I did, because the fucking guy that made it told me. But you didn't find it then, did you? You're an idiot. As everyone else is on TikTok. Anyway, I digress. It's not too bad. Beetlejuice is fine. Agatha's all done. I'm all finished. I'm all up to date. So I just need you to watch it so we can do an old spoiler cast.
Good. Well, I'll probably do that, like I say, over the next couple of days or so.
Very good.
So, yeah, I'll try and power through it. Get up early tomorrow and just see if I can get it done by lunchtime.
And then, that's wishful thinking. How early are you going to get up? Like an hour each?
I mean, my lunchtime. I had lunch at 4 o'clock
tonight. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking like 12, 1 o'clock. What else? Penguin. So Penguin, you could, again, like you say, you could probably start that. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 episodes left. I'm up to date on where we're at. And you haven't watched From, so I can't talk about that with you. So.
No.
So you can start that, though.
No. My time is precious at this point. I intend to use it for things that are relevant to me.
That's about it. That's all I got, Dan. Unless I just ramble on.
I think that will about do for me as well, if I'm honest.
We've got lots of things coming up. We have got the M7 Pro review, which should be going up over the next couple of days. And then we've got another 2 reviews coming up as well, Dan.
Yes, we've also got a new Xbox Game Pass surprise me of Jade Empire, which we'll probably be doing this week, hopefully. If not, it'll be next week. And we'll probably do some Police Simulator or something else that we can find on Steam that we both got to test the new Steam game recorder.
Probably do some game shows and stuff as well. I'll get something ready.
Well, one would hope, Callum.
Yes, we will. Don't you even worry about it. Don't you worry about it. If you want to see all that, you can go to podcastlistersplayer.com. It's all going along at the bottom of the screen. Dan, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!